Hari Om. Good evening, dear friends. Good evening to all the spiritual seekers. A very warm welcome to all of you on this new platform. Okay, now let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Sahana bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. O Lord the Almighty, we offer our sincere prayers to seek your blessings, your love, your compassion, your mercy, your forgiveness, your strength and fortitude. We beseech in you to grant us that in-depth strength to digest the supreme knowledge and make this a reality in our lives. Our salutations and gratitude to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat.
Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna. Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna. Madhura Puri Sadana Mridu Vedana Madhusudan.
Okay. Hearty congratulations to all seekers. An amazing group. I tell you, so much of dedication. Normally, when you talk of attendance, you see of who has come. But here I see who has not come. Like everybody is so much committed, dedicated. Hats off to all of you. And I'm sure that if you all move forward with this kind of dedication, definitely what you have in mind will be achieved. That is my confidence, at least. Yeah. Okay, I hope now most of them have already come in. Okay, we'll start. So today, it's a very important day. Our Divine Discourse number 75, 1st of July 2020, Ashada Shuddha Ekadashi, Sharvari Nama Samvatsara, Uttarayana, Grishma Rutu, Ashada Masa, Shukla Paksha. And today being an Ekadashi, a very special Ekadashi, also known as Devashayani Ekadasi. Okay. So on this auspicious occasion, we once again seek the Lord's grace and blessings, and we move forward. Now first let's talk about the importance of Ashada Ekadashi today, and then I'll tell you all the story of Pundalik, how this Pandharpur Vittala temple came into being. The main reason is by one of the greatest devotees of those days was one Pundalik. So I'll tell you the story of Pundalik, and then we will do, for the balanced time, we will do extensive meditation using the power of the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now this particular mantra is known as a Dwadasha Akshari mantra, which is basically a Mukti mantra. All those who are seeking liberation, as you have the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, so similarly for moksha you have this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we'll also do, for the balanced time, this particular, we'll go deep into meditation with this mantra. Enjoy the fine vibrations, the holy frequencies and vibrations of this mantra. Let it completely cleanse our body and mind and take us to another level of peace altogether. Okay. Now, this Ashada Ekadashi has got several names, or is called in many different ways. One of the way it is called is also known as Pratama Ekadashi. Why is it so now? Pratama. Pratama means first. So here the scriptures tell us that there are 24 Ekadashis in a year, and this particular Ekadashi marks the beginning of the entire set of 24 Ekadashis of any given year. To such an extent, in fact, many people in the past, as per tradition, they used to consider this as the beginning of the new year. That was the practice in the past. And what exactly happened on this day? Lord Vishnu, on this particular day, he goes into his yoga nidra. You all have seen him in that 1,000-headed Nagashesh. He is sleeping on that serpent which is on the ocean of milk. So Lord Vishnu goes into yoga nidra on this day, and since he goes into a nidra, it is also known as Shayana Ekadashi, which we call as Deva Shayana Ekadashi. Shayana means sleep. And this yoga nidra lasts for about 4 months, and it concludes on Kartika Shuddha Ekadashi after 4 months. And from this day onwards, the nights are going to be longer and the days are going to be shorter. So this also marks the beginning of the Dakshinayan, where the sun starts moving southwards. As on the January 14th, we saw that the sun moves towards the north, Uttarayan. So now henceforth it starts moving southwards. Supposed to be an extremely pious Ekadashi for all these obvious reasons. And what the scriptures proclaim is, whoever has observed this particular Ekadashi with devotion, fast, doing tapas, and chanting the name of the Lord, they definitely go to Vaikuntha, the abode of Lord Vishnu. This is promised as per the Shastras and the Puranas. Now, Ekadashi in simple terms means number 11. That's all. Dashmi is 10, Navami is 9, Dashmi, Ekadashi 11, Dwadashi 12, Trayodasi 13, that way. So now here, what is the significance of an Ekadashi? This particular number 11, as per the Advaita Vedanta. Now there the Advaita Vedanta says 5 sense organs and the 5 organs of action plus the mind, all these 11 are put on restriction today. They are under control today, and we call as upavas. Upa means near, vas means stay. So keeping all these 11 under extreme control, you sit near the Lord. Dedicate your time more towards the Lord. So these are the reasons behind these particular spiritual practices. So an extremely pious day. So that's the reason we will do the Moksha Dwadashi Akshara Mantra Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya today in our meditation. And that will be a great good going for us. Okay. Now, we all have heard of the famous Pandharpur temple, Vittala Rukmini temple, which is considered to be the Kashi of the south. And it's not that some statue was sculpted and erected over there and then the prana yajna has been done. No. This was the Lord himself becoming a statue there. Now, how all that happened? Let's listen to this wonderful story. A few centuries ago, in a place known as Dandirvan, The 100 one is thick forest. There was a village in that forest, and there a couple by name Janudev and Satyavati, they were living over there. And this couple had a son by name Pundalik, only one son. Now Janudev was a Purohit by profession. So his job was to go around to various villages, surrounding villages, do his Purohitgiri and make a living out of it. And Satyavati used to take care of the entire household chores. Now Pundalik was growing year after year, year after year. He was in his teens and then he is in his early 20s. Father sees that this fellow is not doing anything. He's neither studying well, learning the Purohitgiri well, or he is making any effective use of his time and energy. So one day, as per the tradition, when he was about 22, 23 years of age, he gets married to a very beautiful girl from the neighboring village. Now, marriage was very well celebrated. Finally, the groom and the bride both come to their house. So, as per the formality, the wife enters the house, and there the mother in law, in the normal course, she gives her peace of mind, her advice to the newly married Bahu, the bride, that look, a Stree, a woman, she is considered to be a Shakti. Why? Because she is one who gives strength to a man. In times of difficulty, she, being compassionate to him, she encourages him. She gives him all the support, whatever she has. To an extent that during some hard times, she even says, "Take my jewelry. I don't mind. I don't want to see you suffering." And she says, a woman is the most beautiful actor. Why? She has to hide her emotions. Sometimes from the husband, sometimes from the father-in-law, sometimes from the mother-in-law, sometimes from the children. She is that kind of a person, completely filled with strength. And she tells him, look, in whatever way I have done the upbringing of my only son, I have done to my best ability. Now I place my son in your hands. You see what you can make out of him. And I wish you all the best. So these were her word of advice and blessings to this daughter-in-law. Now, this daughter-in-law seems to be going nowhere. She does not get anything into her head. And she has hardly come to this place. She runs back to her father's place. Now, along with the wife, Pundalik also goes. This Janudev, the Purohit, one day he was coming back from his Purohitgiri, and another friend of him, he bumps into him on the way and he says, "Oh Janudev, now I think your life is going to be good. You have a young son, you have already got him married. So henceforth, I think you don't have much of a burden on your shoulders." Janudev says, Yeah, what you say is true. Maybe let me see my grandchild and I'll entrust everything to my son and I'll sit peacefully chanting the name of the Lord. Saying this, he comes home. He sees Pundalik is not there. He asks his wife, where has he gone? And Bahu also, I don't see her anywhere. Where is she? Now Satyavati, the wife, tells him that Bahu has gone to her Maika, to her mother's place. He gets a little startled. He said, what is this? She has just come. It's hardly 4 or 5 days and this has not been discussed. How come she just went away like that? See, in those days, there was a particular muhurat when the daughter-in-law of a house has to leave or has to come into the house. There was a particular muhurat, and normally when she is leaving to her mother's place, somebody from the mother's place used to come and take her along. And also they would come and drop them back to their in-laws place. That was the custom. Now he says nobody has told anything. How come this happened? Anyway, where is Pundalik? Pundalik has also gone with her. That again worries him. So he's waiting, and after a few days he sees Pundalik is back. He asks Pundalik, where had you been? I had been to my in-laws place along with my wife. He says, what was the reason for you to go? There is no function, there is no formal invitation, there is no celebration over there, a wedding or any kind of a religious function, nothing is there, and you have just gone. He says, see my son, this is not the way. You should not keep going to your in-laws place like this. There is a method in which you have to go. Keep a bit of restriction on that. It will reduce your stature in their eyes. Of course, this was all followed in the olden days. So he does not pay much heed. He just keeps quiet. Now, after some days, they come back. Pundalik and his wife. Janudev had gone for his usual profession, Purohitgiri. While coming back, he sees that as he enters the house, he sees there is a horse. Now he looks at the horse and he calls Pundalik, Pundalik, where are you? Come. That fellow comes running. He says, what happened? What is this horse? He says, it is ours. He says, ours meaning, where did you get the money to buy this? He says, I didn't buy this. My father-in-law gave as a gift to me. But why? He wanted her daughter to be going on this so that it is not tiresome for her. Now this Janudev gets upset. He says, what? If you are so concerned about her, first of all, if she walks, she will be healthy. She is not doing that. And above it, if you are so concerned about her, then you earn some money, and out of that money you buy her a horse. That is something of some meaning. He gifted to you and you just bought that horse and kept it here. He says, go and return it back now. So there was some clashes happening. Then after a few days, Janudev, the father, he gets really troubled. He tells him, Pundalik, I think I'm sufficiently old. Now, why don't you take up this Purohitgiri profession, what I am doing? And I would not want to do this anymore. I would want to give it to you. Now, this person, Pundalik says, Father, I don't want to do this Purohitgiri and all. What do you mean by that? The mother comes running out of the kitchen because there is a heated argument going on here now between father and son. Then what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to. My father in law has said that he has some influence in this Kolhapur, the Raj Darbar. He'll get me a job over there. Now, this again becomes worrisome. The mother says, what job? See, we're talking of several centuries ago. Uttama Krishi, Madhyama Vyavasaya, Nishkrishta Naukari, she says. First and foremost, one should look at having his own farming. If not, he should do some vyavasaya, some business. And there the father says, you are talking so cheap and low about this Purohitgiri. You know, we have been allotted 5 villages where entirely it is our domain and we are going and doing the Purohitgiri for all these 5 villages. And you say that you don't want to go around and collect this chawal, dal, ghee, sabji they give, no, as dakshina. You said you don't want to do all this. What do you mean? Your great grandfather was a Purohit, your grandfather was a Purohit, I am a Purohit. You mean to say there is no value for this? Purohitva hitam karoti, he says. The Purohit serves the society. The Purohit leads the society. We give advice on every occasion to every family as to what and when they should be doing religious activities. And you are considering this as of some low profile or cheap job. So now this again went to another level in terms of this bickerings at home. So one day the parents tell, Pundalik, me and your mother have decided to go for Kashi Yatra. One of the batches from our place are all going for this Kashi Yatra. So we thought we'll join them in this Yatra. So you and your wife, please take care of the home and we'll be going tomorrow. Now, he has got nothing to say. He says, okay, you all go. In the night, the wife tells Pundalik, I got to know that they are going. We also will go with them. Pundalik says, what? We? For what? No, we'll go. Your mother has still not told me where she has kept her jewelry. And I don't know whether she'll come back or not. I don't want all this jewelry to go for a toss just like that. We'll better go with them. So see, this Pundalik is a very obedient husband. He says, okay, if you say so, we'll go. Because as it is, he has got nothing to do, no? Whether he's here or he's going on a yatra or he's just roaming around, it makes no sense. He has no commitment on any work or anything as such. So now next day, along with the group, they start. Now they have a horse. This fellow has not returned it. The wife is sitting on the horse and this fellow is protecting the horse and his wife, and his parents are walking on the ground. The yatra starts. They continue traveling day after day, day after day, day after day. One day, they halt at Bhima Nadi. Bhima Nadi is at Bhima River, on the banks of Bhima River. The whole batch halts there. Now, in those days, there are no hotels or resorts or any such kind of places for residence for a stay. So there was one Kukkutaswami ashram over there. So all of them halt in that Kukkutaswami ashram. Father is relatively at peace. He says, "Thank you, O Lord. We got such a nice place to stay. We had a refreshing bath in the Bhima river. And I am told that this Kukutswami ashram also gives us food. So for at least 2-3 days we'll stay here with peace of mind and keep praying to the Lord." Both husband and wife are very pious people, very devoted, God loving. So they stay over there. Now, this wife again and again she is asking, "Did your mother tell anything about the jewelry? Did you ask her?" This fellow said, "No, I didn't ask her." "Then when are you going to ask?" So every night this wife only talks of the jewelry. But this fellow was not able to sleep that night. He comes out and is seeing in the veranda of the Kukutswami ashram that 3 beautiful women enter. This is somewhere in the middle of the night. Dead in the night, as we call. They enter with dirty clothes. They sweep the ashram. They clean the ashram. And then they go inside one of the rooms in the ashram. And they come out beautifully dressed, decked up with jewels and garlands. And they walk out of the ashram. This sight was stunning to him. He says, "What is this I am seeing here?" And by the time he was able to come out of his daze, he sees they are gone. Now next day, he deliberately wakes up at that time and he goes out and sees in the veranda if they are there. He sees again they come. And they do the same chores, sweeping the entire ashram, cleaning it, and then going out properly decked. He goes and he talks to them. He talks to them and he asks, "May I know who you all are? Who you all are?" Now those women say, "I am Ganga, she is Yamuna, and the other woman is Saraswati. We are the 3 rivers, holy rivers. People come and bathe in the rivers. Naturally, we become dirty. So we come to such a holy place. This Kukutswami ashram is a very holy place. We come here. We wash our clothes and we go from here. And mind you, in the recent past, one of the worst sinners we have seen is you." Now this was shocking to him. You have been ill-treating your parents, abusing them, not following what they are saying, and you are the biggest papi, worst sinner we have seen. And they go away. Now these words, they strike him so hard. He goes back into his room and next day morning, he tells his parents, "Please forgive for whatever has happened. Let us go back home. I want to be with you all. Let us go back home." Now wife is stunned because this fellow used to ask always used to have a word with his wife and only then talk about it. He does not pay any heed to his wife. They all go back home to this Dandi one. Now, there, that incident, those words of those three goddesses, it changed him to such an extent that he completely changed his way of life, became so devoted to his parents, serving them to the greatest extent possible. Now, this news comes to the knowledge of Lord Krishna, Vishnu, and to test him, one day in the night, both the father and mother are asleep. Pundalik is massaging the feet of his father. He has kept a brick below his leg so that when he's oiling the leg, he's able to oil the entire leg properly from bottom, top, that way. So he's kept a brick below his father's leg and he's slowly massaging his leg. Now he hears a voice. The door is at the back of Pundalik. Hey Pundalik, are you there? He says, yes, I'm there. Who are you? He says, I'm Krishna. What? I am busy now. Please. He says, no, I have some work with you. He says, I don't have time to attend to you. I am busy. Please come tomorrow. He says, I am Lord Shri Krishna. He says, see, whoever you are, please, let's talk tomorrow because I don't have time now. He says, okay, I'll wait. And he's standing behind him. This Pundalik is not even turning his back and looking at Lord Krishna who is standing behind him. Now then, after a while he says, Pundalik says, I told you I'm busy. I'm serving my parents. If you want, you wait. Otherwise, you come tomorrow. Now again, Lord Krishna says, I'll wait. Can you give me a seat to sit? So then he gives that brick. He just, without even looking, he pushes that brick backward. And on that small brick, Lord Krishna, who is dearly known as Vittala, is standing on that brick. And he says, I'm here to bless my devotees. And he becomes a statue. And that statue is where we have today the Vitthal Rukmini temple in Pandharpur, where lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of devotees, they all go by walk. For more than 100, 150, 200 kilometers they walk. For several days, several weeks, they walk singing the glory of Vitthala, Vitthala, Vitthala. And on this day, they bathe in the holy river there. They do all the rituals. And the next day morning, they again have their darshan, prasad and return. So such are the glories of our ancient times. This is not a story, this is an incident which has happened. So this teaches us so many things. Now this particular Pundalik, who does not know anything else, no other rituals in life, just that seva of the parents, that is his Ishvara Puja. Completely dedicated, that action dedicated to the Lord. And they say that this particular Pundalik, his antakarana got completely cleansed, so much purified that for him that Ishvara Prapti or Moksha was just at the flick of a finger. It so easily came to him. So seva to parents, elders, needy is one of the great cleansing tools of your chitta shuddhi for your mind. And once the mind is clean enough, whatever divine knowledge we are all acquiring just seeps into. As various other methods of what we spoke about, jap, vrat, tirtha yatra, dan, all these are bahiranga sadhanas and antaranga sadhanas. So, seva for the parents, elders is considered to be one of the most sacred ones. So, this story denotes of how a Pundalik, who was more like a goon, eventually becomes a great soul. Okay, now our humble salutations to the Lord and to the Guru Parampara for having guided us all along, and we beseech in them to continue to do so. Om Tat Sat. Okay, Hari Om everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Looking forward to see you all tomorrow.